Hi everyone, this is Nana.
I'm Ngozi,
and welcome back to our channel. So today we decided to switch up things because we're just getting tired of sitting down during this quarantine, and we decided to walk and talk. Oh, that's on the floor. Don't step in that.
Oh, the dog shit. Oh my god. So today we're talking about.
You guys, you're gonna have to chill with that gum.
Alright, we
I
spit
think
it
she
out.
spit it out. Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the concept of defending Africa from the outside. Basically, our last video, we're going to put it up here. The last video we had was our reaction video to one of my die in America or move to Africa. So we know a lot of people, you know, unless you live under a rock, you know what's going on in America with a lot of police brutality, a lot of things that's been happening but are now being seen more, and now people are protesting and people are really understanding like this is unacceptable. It's 2020. These type of things have no place in America. So a lot of people have been making content about moving back to Africa, which I do believe is a nice concept. But as we said in our reaction video, which we're going to link up here somewhere, that it's not just a solution. It may be a solution for some people, just moving back to Africa, depending on where they're coming from or what they.
But we simply said
want.
It's not that simple
for
everyone.
There's a reason why my mother, all my cousins, they never went back. There's a reason why they're still in the diaspora, because there's a lot of issues still in Africa. So we notice a lot of comments. A lot of people will come, you know, to try to understand, you know, pride. You want to defend your country, stand up. Africa has been so portrayed so negatively in the history of the world. So you want to rep your country, to understand that. But my thing is that, can you really defend Africa from the outside? And when I say from the outside, I mean
a lot of people be typing all these comments like, oh, this, that, blah, blah, blah.
You're in Germany.
Yeah.
You're in London. You're in Paris, you're in Amsterdam, you're in Canada, you're in America.
So basically the topic is that, can you be Pan-African but not live in Africa? Can you be a true Pan-African? This is my spin on it. Because it always seems like Ngozi seems like the one that anti-Africa, and I'm the Pan-Africanist.
Nah.
Listen, I'm a realist, and I think every society has its goods and its bad. If you come to there's things you're gonna tell me about America, I'm not gonna defend it. I know it's wrong. Just because I'm in America doesn't mean I'm gonna paint America to be perfect. And I think that's the issue too. It's like the first step in changing the problem is admitting the problem.
Exactly. So if you don't acknowledge there's a problem,
you have to admit the problem.
A lot of people are in denial.
Some people are really in denial, or they feel like, Ngozi said, I think it's true, that like they're tired of that negative perception of Africa, so they try to defend it, try to go so hard. I'm telling you, I've known people that used to go so hard from Africa. Now they're here like, I don't think I'm gonna go back. I don't think I'm gonna go back to my country. Again, we're gonna stop saying Africa. I don't think I'm gonna go back to my country.
People letting visas expire, becoming illegal aliens, becoming undocumented citizens. It's not for no reason. Doesn't mean they don't love their country at heart, but their country is failing them.
I think you could, but what I'm trying to, I think you can love your country and live in another country. I think you could love Ghana and live in America. I think you could love Gambia and live in France. But I don't think you could be a
Pan-Africanist.
Listen, I don't think you could be a Pan-Africanist. There's a difference between liking your country and having pride in your country. There's people from countries that people talk about so badly, but they still love their country. They still rep their country.
That kind of annoys me.
They still try to.
That annoys me. I know being in America, like let's say I'll drive through Newark or something, I'll see like mad Puerto Ricans. They got their flag on their headboard. They got it hanging in from their car. They have it on the back of their, what is the thing where you put your head on? I understand being being prideful of your country, but it comes to a point at the same time, it's like I feel like that's all part of people still being in denial, because if you love your country so much, why not go live there?
Because the country doesn't offer them that much.
Yeah, so it comes to a point
but it doesn't mean that they don't love their culture.
You can love your country, but you have to understand that you still have to be like, okay, let's give an example. Another one of our videos is a lot of people are watching now, stop building mansions in Africa. A lot of people that video controversial. People feel as if, you know, we talk about King Bright, how he was telling people not stop investing, but basically the way a lot of Africans start prioritizing building their homes back home when they're struggling abroad or don't even have a home abroad. So that's the same point I'm making. I feel like that's the mentality of some people are just in denial. Like, I'm not saying because you come from, let's say, Jamaica, you should have come to America and be proud to be Jamaican, but it's a limit. Like, Jamaica's not that great, you'd be there. So it comes to a point that you gotta dumb it down. Like, I'm not saying don't be prideful. I'm not saying, but I feel like you can only be you walking around with the flag on your forehead and having it all up in your car and having a bandana. To me, not only could do so much, because if you're that proud of your country, you would be there. You're in America.
The point I'm trying to make to you is that someone could be in their country and hate it more than someone that's over here.
Of course.
People are still in their country because of lack of access. And people are here because, you know, you get used to it too. It's not just, it's not just about, they may not like their country. You just get used to a certain life. You get used to certain amenities. You get used to certain things. You get used to certain types of infrastructure that is hard to just get up and go. And your family's here. You start having children. You meet them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Picking up a family and going to Africa is much different from being single with no kids and going to a country in Africa.
Like, well, I give an example. But we understand people have that dream. The point I'm saying, people want to be back in their countries. I don't argue that. A lot of people have an idea that they want to go back, but I feel like a lot of people are in denial. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's one of the major points I'm trying to make in this video. I feel like a lot of people. Yeah, I think he does. I feel like a lot of people are in denial about the state of their countries. They want to love it. They want to be proud, and they feel as if they have to be proud.
They're in a tough situation.
Exactly, it's hard. I can only imagine. I was born in America, so my perspective is different. The way I don't connect with Africa the way my mother connects with Africa. There's someone who's lived there and was actually brought up there. But the point I'm trying to make is that when it comes to a point that we have to be realistic. We can't just think that because we want to believe something and we're just going to keep telling ourselves that that's going to happen. No.
Like how people in America have tried to ignore race.
Exactly. That's the number one reason why the issue of race can't be solved. People don't want to talk about it. People want to pretend it doesn't exist. Everyone want to act like we're doing kumbaya, and we're not. So like you said earlier.
So this is a comparison I want to compare it to. Can I be pro-black and marry a white man? I think I can.
You can.
I can. So I think I do think that you can have pride and love your country, but I live in it. The point I'm saying is that you cannot be a Pan-Africanist.
So what is a Pan-Africanist?
Like, I feel like Pan-Africanist, I remember I looked up the definition of something about like having extreme pride and it's like something, I'll get the definition, I'll put it in here. But it's really deep. I feel like for you to be a true Pan-Africanist, I feel like you have to live or go to Africa a lot.
Okay, give an example, like something like our late father when he was alive, how he never applied for American citizenship. Do you feel like that's part of being a Pan-Africanist?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people would jump on that. I want that citizenship. I want that. I want that blue passport.
Pride in where he's from.
He didn't want it.
Pride in his country of origin that he didn't want that. You get what I'm saying? He didn't want that citizenship because that would take away where he's truly from.
And I do believe that kind of makes sense. So
even though you can have dual citizenship across the street.
That's what I think it does kind of make sense. That's the point I'm trying to make is that period. Someone could only tell me they're that passionate about Africa, they're so into it, they love it so much, and they've been living in the diaspora for like 30, 40 years. And they keep telling themselves, oh yeah, I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire. I'm going to buy I'm going to go live in that house that I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to build. They keep telling themselves that, but in reality, is it really going to happen? So the point I'm trying to make is that I do believe you can love your country. You may love your country, but you know it's not good enough for you to go live there.
And you can love your country, but still, it's like you can love your country and still talk about the flaws.
Of course, but the point
and still talk about the things that are not good.
Like I gave the example of the Jamaicans with their flags. Do they love the country or they love the culture? There's a difference. You can love the culture, but doesn't mean you like your country. You could love the way of life. You could like the food there. You could like the language, being with your people, chilling in the village, chilling in the countryside. You could like the culture. But doesn't mean you care for the country. Because I meet so many, particularly we're Nigerians, so we're going to reference to Nigeria a lot. I meet so many Nigerians like, fucking Nigeria, all they do is make some... I remember one time I read some comment on YouTube, this guy's like, Nigeria's a fucking mess. All people do is make stupid songs and dances to them, acting like there's no problems. Like, this guy went like on a rant on this. I'm like, yo, like, there's kind of some truth to this post. He's like, fuck Nigeria.
I hear a lot of people in Nigeria complain about Nigeria
and this guy, he's like, fuck Nigeria, I don't give a fuck about that country. Like, and you can't blame people. Like, people are frustrated.
Exactly.
People are supposed to have certain things, and they think, okay, give an example of COVID, what happened right now. I'm not saying nowhere is perfect, but I know despite Trump and however you may feel about him and how annoying he can be, they tried. Like, they tried to help people during this pandemic, from businesses to stimulus checks to deferring our loans to September to giving unemployment to
Trump
people who have never...
He's not going to get my vote, but I give it to
giving unemployment.
And listen, this is an example. I don't like Trump, but I could say he did something good.
Exactly.
I could say someone I like did
benefits
something
to
bad.
People who never qualified before. Like, what are all these countries? I could only imagine what people have been going through during these corona times, when on a normal day-to-day basis their needs are not being met. Talk less of now in the pandemic. So the point I want to come at is, I understand, I do agree, I do believe you can live in a different country and still love your original country. But it comes to a point that when I see people who act so prideful about the country to the extent it's getting annoying to me.
Why you're not there?
Because if your country was so perfect and there's no flaws, everything is so great about it, why are you here? you'd be in your country. Obviously, there's a reason why you left your country to come here, because there's certain opportunities.
People that always just complain and complain, but they're still here. Why are you complaining? Pack up your bags and go back to your place of origin.
Go
like,
there.
I know it's not. We said it's not that simple, but it is still an option. It's possible. It's not impossible if you really, really work towards it. Maybe give yourself like a 5-year goal, a 10-year plan. It's not something that I would advise anyone just getting up and jumping and doing. You know what I mean? I would, of course, it's something you have to plan. You don't even have to. There are people that get up and go. If you got it like that, as long as you got your money, you can do whatever you want in this world, right? But the average person I know is not going to just pick up their bags and go back to their country in Africa. It's not that simple. But if it's something you truly care about, you would make it happen. You know? So I don't know. I just think that it gets kind of annoying when there's so many people like talking or oh, stop doing this to Africa, stop downing Africa, stop making this country look so bad. But you're typing from Germany.
Exactly.
You're typing this to me from Japan. You're typing from China. You're typing from Russia. Like, and it's different if you're just going there to go to school and leave. But when you actually have plans to stay in a country and then you want to defend that country so hard.
To me, you can't defend the country. You only can defend a country from the extent from the outside. If you're living in that country, you want to go hard for it, that's another. We can talk. We can have that conversation. But to me, you can only defend it by so much from the outside. I don't take it seriously. Like, you can't tell me, you can't try to argue with me about something and you don't even live in the country you're trying to argue about.
Well, that's all for now. Okay, let us know what you think. Okay, I know
our background.
Also pretty. I know everyone won't agree. I love Africa, like as a whole. I love my country that my parents are from in Africa, but it's different. I can't say. I will point out what's wrong. Like, I'm not in denial. I'm not in la la land. I know why there's a mass immigration. I know why there's been a mass. I know why there's the brain drain going on all throughout countries in Africa. I know why that's happening. I understand. Before I didn't used to understand, but as I'm getting older, I understand. I just feel as if as when people want to accept and be real about what's happening, then that's when we could see real change.
And we could start accountability. We have to hold each other, our leaders, each other. We have to hold people accountable. That's how people know, okay, we can't do this. Because why do people in these countries do the things they're doing? Because no one's holding them accountable. There's no consequence for their actions. They could do this and nothing's going to happen. We need to, of course, you don't want to be negative. You want to bash something 24/7. Of course, you have to be positive. But at the same time, positive does not mean ignoring. You could be
positive and be real.
Exactly. You could be positive and also be realistic. Being positive doesn't mean ignoring what's really wrong. Because it doesn't solve anything if we sit here and try to hide under lies and deceive ourselves to say things we want to hear, but in reality are not true. But let us know how you feel about this video. Can you be a Pan-African from the outside, meaning outside of Africa? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.